Hey, what's up YouTube? In this video, I'm going to be showing you the very first Minecraft world that I ever created. Now, this is even back before I did YouTube. I did preview this world a little bit in my 1,000,000 subscriber video, but since then, I thought that it might be fun for us to come back to this world and I can showcase everything that I was up to before I actually started posting YouTube videos and stuff. So, without any further ado, why don't I show you this place? So, I'm not even sure where I should start this. I think that I'll start off by showing the very first thing that I worked on when I actually made this world. The very first thing that I wanted to build and achieve. And by the way, just to let you guys know, this world is really old. This world would have been made somewhere in like September or maybe even August of 2012, so it's really old. So the very first thing that I aspired to make in Minecraft, don't ask me why, I don't know why I wanted to do this. I wanted to make a house, like you can see in there, surrounded by a big giant glass dome. It's not really a dome, it's more of like a big giant square with a floor of gold. That is the very first thing that I wanted to make in Minecraft. Plus, I also wanted to make it so that the entrance to the said house, dome, Sandy's tree house, but not, except it's a little bit more extravagant house. I wanted to make the entrance a bit secret, so we kind of have this nice little tunnel here, which is made almost exclusively with glowstone. It's actually kind of making my eyes go funny as we run through this tunnel, and the house actually has a nice little hidden basement here, which also, again, lots of glowstone, and it also had a little rail system which went all the way down into the earth, and there's actually a slime farm down there, which I might actually... Shall we go and explore the slime farm? Shall we see if there's anything interesting down there? Oh my god, look at this place. This place is a little bit crazy. You can see that we have a chest. Is there anything in it? Yeah, we have plenty of cobblestone and dirt and lapis lazuli and stuff. We have taken care of all of the actual lava, and we just have an area that is glowstone and torches, and this is where slimes would spawn if mobs were turned on. We're right down to bedrock, as you can see. It took a lot of finding to actually find a chunk in which slimes would spawn. It's kind of cool to see this. This is where we found slime. Now, if we work our way back up into the basement and we actually make our way into the house, there should... You know what? I don't think there's actually a way to get down here. I don't know why. But if we crack our way into the house, you can see that it's very simple in here. There's not too much going on. I have never liked interiors. Never, as you can see, never liked interiors at all. If we walk our way out onto the porch and we can actually come inside of our big giant cube-domey thing, there's not much going on. There's not much going on. I should say, by the way, this world was built by me and a friend. Like, this isn't just all me, and this was all built on survival, and it was built, like, the way that we got all of these materials was we used the furnace duplication glitch, so that you'd grab some stuff, throw it in a furnace, you did something else to it, can't remember what it was, and you would typically, hopefully, unless it got deleted, end up with something brand new. So that is how all of this stuff came about. That's why there's so much glowstone. And the idea was, by the way, and I might even have footage of this, I might have to download an old video of mine. If you come out of the house, here where we have this big giant explosion, this used to be a golden elevator. Oh, you poor sheep. This used to be a golden elevator which took you all the way up, like really far up. You can actually see the remnants of it now, and it would actually take you to the Sky Islands. If I have any footage of the golden elevator, I'll show it you now, and I'll show you how it works. All I remember about that thing, not only was it beautiful, but it didn't work 100% of the time. It had quite a big failure rate, so it was actually a little bit sketchy to use that thing. You died a lot, you really did. Anyway, about these Sky Islands. For whatever reason, I like the idea of having islands in the sky that were 100% independent from all of the mobs and stuff on the ground. I like the idea of having loads and loads of sky-related builds that were all connected together, hence the sugarcane farm, hence this lovely little tree farm up here as well. Yeah. probably wasn't my best idea. So those are amongst some of the first things that I wanted to build in Minecraft. Now, we do have some more stuff. If we have a look over here, this is actually like this awesome Aztec temple that I kind of wanted to build, and once again, I have an obsession with gold. If we go back in time, a real big obsession with gold, and that is supposed to be like a big flaming skull on top of the temple. Now, I know it doesn't look great, alright? I'm well aware, but honestly, that was like 4 years ago. You can't judge me too harshly. It's not too bad. You can kind of tell what that is. And what else can I show you guys? Oh my god, I actually forgotten about some of this stuff. So, when I very first started Minecraft, I got into the idea that I'd really enjoy doing redstone. The only problem is, I was never any good at it. I was really bad at it, and not too much has changed since then. This, right here, this ugly, awful contraption, is amongst one of the very first things that I wanted to make in Minecraft with the redstone. So, this is a staircase that would pop out of the wall, like this. So imagine that these are the walls, right? You'd build walls around this, and you could activate the staircase with a lever, and a staircase would just pop out of the wall like this. So regularly, you could just like walk all the way around. You'd even have, let me show you how it'd actually look in my head, like if it actually worked properly. Let me show you. So say this is just like a hallway in your castle. The idea was that there was nothing here. You could walk through the hall completely uninterrupted. However, if you wanted to access the second floor of your castle, all you'd have to do is flick this switch and boom, staircase out of nowhere. Now, it's not actually a bad idea, and it does work. However, it is awfully ugly. And like I said, I am a redstone noob. I always have been, but I did like the idea of like having entrances and stuff like that. And this kind of brings me on to this little next bit here. Like if we walk all the way over to this lovely castle that we have, I know, great looking castle, isn't it? Looks absolutely horrible, but the idea with the castle was to build a castle, have a load of redstone in it, and then you'd have like a nice redstone castle. So for instance here, we have this pressure plate, walk over the pressure plate, and you have this cool door that opens like this. It opens in like 4 different ways. Pretty cool idea, I think, and you can actually walk in and out of there. Of course, like it's kind of ugly because all of the redstone and stuff is like right there on the floor, and there's holes and stuff in your castle. But again, redstone noob, I don't know what I'm doing. This is where the staircase would have been that I was working on previously, and just to show you the castle, I mean, I think it's pretty standard for what most people build in a Minecraft for like some of the very first builds. It's kind of average, right? It's not that bad. Coming back to the redstone though, something else that I wanted to make, which I thought would be pretty cool, is like a trap door, which had like a trap down at the base of it. So I don't know whether this will work, guys. Let's give it a go. Let's flip this switch, and that might, yeah, you see, that opens this door here, and the idea would be that you fall down here, and you move around onto these pressure plates, and you would get shot with arrows. Not the greatest design, but not too bad, right? It could have been worse. That was the idea. At least all of these things typically work, right? I mean, it's not too bad. And of course, we can fly out of here. Back then, it was all survival though, so that probably would kill you. The fall would get you pretty much there, and then if you walked around, then the arrows would finish you off. We also have this. I don't know what this is. This is just a pit. But I can tell you, around this, I think we have all sorts of organised chests. I was so happy when slime got added to the game, because I'm sure that it wasn't always there on console. I don't think we started off with slime, but you can see that this was like a proper survival world. We had to use tools and everything to get everything accomplished, as you can see. And one of these chests should have loads and loads of slime balls, as you can see, which was what we used for all of the redstone. So it's it's kind of cool to go back in time and see some of this stuff, isn't it? Now, if we come over here to this area, not only do we have this lovely brick house, but we also have this nice little fountain. A little bit basic, honestly, a little bit basic, but it could be worse. This brick house here is actually missing I don't know how this happened, but it's missing like a front. I think that a TNT from the exploding golden elevator must have landed here and blew off half of the front of the house. But it's actually, it's not a bad brick house, is it? It's not awful. Has a nice little farm. It could look worse. Why don't we have a look inside here? So inside here, I guess this is a pen. I guess this is a pen for the dog. Were you named? No, you weren't. Okay, you just sit down then. This is a pretty interesting interior. I remember the place being burned down a little bit due to that fire. I think we have a second floor somewhere. Do we? Yeah, we have access to the second floor up here, and there's once again not too much going on. Oh, do we have an attic? Is there anything up the attic? I wonder. And of course not. No, there isn't. But however, apparently there is another way out, which leads me out of this awful house. But it's not too bad. It could be worse. It could absolutely be worse. What's at the back here? Oh, we even have a chimney. We're getting fancy with this thing. It's even in the same place that we actually have the fireplace. That's very, very practical. Oh, this house is awful. Here's a random thing, so I kind of remember this. This is like an obsidian lockbox that would keep you 100% safe from any mobs that you would find around the place. And it did, of course, once again have like the redstone entrance, which doesn't seem to work. I don't think I ever got this working, but the idea was for this to be like a complete safe house, 100% safe from all sorts of mobs, and you would just be in here, trapped inside the obsidian. It's with a backdoor entrance. Yeah, not 100% safe, but it's kind of interesting to see the sort of things that I was going for. I think that the idea was so that you would drop in. I think that was kind of the whole general gist of this. Please tell me that there's someone out there that's worse at me than Redstone. Anybody? Please? Oh, here's another thing. So I actually viewed this in my million view video. I don't see why I can't go over it again. This is the very first house that was posted on my channel. It's the very first video as well. So in the video, I speed built the house. Basically just me building the house in like 10 times speed or something, and at the very end of the video I blew this house up. There'll be footage on the screen right now of me doing that. If you're curious about what that hole is, that was where I was experimenting with TNT. Yeah, that house might be familiar, by the way. It's the same one, I think, that is in the big giant sandy dome. Now, here's a build that I'm not 100% ashamed of. I think that I've actually posted a video of this on the channel a really, really long time ago. This is the very first and last ship that I have ever made. So this is a big, giant dragon Viking ship. As you can see, we have like a dragon's head at the front of the ship. I did also want fire in there. However, it doesn't work very well with the wood. The dragon even has some cool wings and stuff. And as we look at the thing sideways, we have like a really cool base of the ship. It's actually quite an interesting shape. We have sails and everything. It's fairly detailed, honestly. I think that this was like the first, like most detailed build that I ever made. And the captain's quarters is quite simply just a chair right in the middle of a giant room with more chairs and a bed, of course. That seems like something I would build, and we can actually go all the way up to where you would actually steer the ship. It's quite a long way up, and there would be a wheel here. However, I think I goofed with it a little bit because there's not like a center point where you can place the wheel. I think I kind of goofed. I think that's why there's not a wheel there. But it's not actually a bad build, is it? Really, it's not too bad. I'm not ashamed of that. I think that that's actually pretty decent. I can't say too much bad about that. It's actually a pretty nice looking dragon pirate ship, especially for like 4 years ago. Also, speaking of builds that aren't strictly horrible. This is kind of like, looking back at it, it's kind of like a modern treehouse build. So the idea is very simple. We have a big giant trunk of a tree here, and we have swirling all the way up from the bottom to the top, we have loads of little like tree modules like this, where you have various purposes for each individual room, and you work your way up all the way up to the tree. It's kind of like a big giant tree house / tree village. You could actually make a tree village. Now, the actual build itself is awful, and it's awful looking, but I think the concept is actually pretty good. So, you would make your way to the tree base, the base of the tree, which is right here. You can see that we have a ladder leading us all the way up. It's a very big ladder. It's actually quite a big build. It takes you to the very first step in the actual tree house itself, which is here. This is where you would come up to, and then you would work your way around, walking up all of these boards and stuff to the next little module of the tree. And then the next one, so on and so forth, until you eventually reach the top, where we have a couple up here. That's a bedroom, I think. And I think that we also have a bedroom up here. And this is, oh, I think that we even have a nice little hidden, we even have a hidden part of the tree just down below from the main bedroom. It's kind of cool. That's a pretty decent idea, if I do say so myself, that links everything together. That's not too bad at all. Like I said, I don't think that that's strictly a terrible idea. Looks awful, but not a bad idea. Oh, by the way, just in case you're curious, when it comes to this area, earlier when I showed it you, I forgot to mention, there's loads of TNT and stuff planted around, and the earth looks very, very much smashed in. Yeah, there used to be a giant mountain here that was at least as big as this, and as you can see, the mountain has very well been toppled. And now, ladies and gentlemen, the last thing that I want to show you, the final thing in this world, is what I used for my very first Minecraft intro, and I hope that this thing still works. I hope that it still works. So you can see the MC up there, right? That's obviously, that stands for Minecraft. But if we have a look down here, we have a lever and some redstone, and I'm hoping that when I hit this, something should happen. Something, give it time, should happen. It's not happening. Alright, so we had a very small technical difficulty there. I should have fixed it. So what should happen now if I hit that lever and then I take a look at what I've just made here? What should happen is yeah. Minecraft time lapse. And that's it. That's it. I know, you're probably expecting something more interesting to happen. Well, something more interesting should have happened. This should have blown up here, the MC part. But that is the intro that I used to use for my Minecraft time lapses. So whenever I made something in like fast forward or whatever, then that's the intro that I'd use. That's a very small payoff for all of the work that I just put in to figure out why that wasn't working. Hopefully, you guys have enjoyed this little world tour that I've made. It was kind of really fun to come back and take a look at all this stuff. Unfortunately, there's not too much more to look at, really. There's some like caverns and stuff that I made a long time ago, but other than that, everything is just a little bit boring. And I hope that this wasn't 100% boring. I hope it was a little bit interesting. If you enjoyed the video, feel free to give it a like. I'd appreciate that. Feel free to comment down below. What would you like me to make in the future? I'm just making this because I'm feeling just a little bit ill at the moment. I've got a little bit of a stuffy nose. I don't know whether you guys can hear it, but I didn't quite fancy making a tutorial. So I thought that we'd take a trip down memory lane instead. If you want to check out any of my stuff, feel free to check out the cards in the description below. Subscribe for more content. If you subscribe, say hello and click the little bell next to the subscription button to ensure that you'll get everything sent directly to your sub box. Thank you so much.